Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. China has criticized US actions in Venezuela, saying no country has the right to act as the world's police or judge. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning said nations must respect each other's sovereignty and development choices and abide by international law and the United Nations Charter. She added that major powers should take the lead by exercising restraint as global tensions over Venezuela continue to grow. Venezuela's main opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado, has vowed to return to her country as soon as possible, declaring her movement ready to win a free election after the capture of President Nicolas Maduro by US forces. In an interview, Machado praised US President Donald Trump for toppling Maduro, who has since been jailed in New York on drug and weapons charges. She said Venezuela's political transition should now move forward. "We won an election in 2024 by a landslide under fraudulent conditions," Machado said, adding that in a free and fair vote, the opposition would secure more than 90% of the ballots. Machado, who fled Venezuela in October to receive the Nobel Peace Prize, did not disclose her current location or details of her return plans. She remains wanted for arrest at home, where Socialist Party loyalists continue to control key state institutions. Republican US lawmakers have said that President Donald Trump does not plan to occupy or nation build in Venezuela after attending a briefing by top officials on the administration's policy toward the South American nation. Republican House of Representatives Speaker Mike Johnson of Louisiana told reporters after the classified session with Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, and other senior officials that there are no US armed forces in Venezuela, and the country is not occupying that country. Protests in Iran's capital continued for the second week, with eyewitness videos showing clashes between demonstrators and security forces at Tehran's Grand Bazaar. Rights groups say at least 25 people have been killed since unrest began over inflation and a collapsing currency. Iran's police chief said forces would deal with what he called the remaining rioters, as authorities balance dialogue with force on the streets. Ukraine's allies are meeting in Paris today, seeking to finalise as much as possible their contributions to future security guarantees to reassure Kyiv in the event of a ceasefire with Russia. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will be joined by more than 27 leaders in the French capital, along with senior US negotiators Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, as part of broader efforts to put together a common Ukrainian, European and American position that could then be taken to Russia. China has banned the exports of dual-use items to Japan that can be used for military purposes, effectively immediately. A Commerce Ministry statement showed that exports of dual-use items to military users or for any purposes that contribute to enhancing Japan's military strength are banned, adding that organisations or individuals from any country that violate the ban will be held legally liable. An earthquake with a preliminary magnitude of 6.2 hit the western Chugoku region of Japan, followed by a series of sizable aftershocks. The Japan Meteorological Agency said the epicenter of the first earthquake was in eastern Shimane Prefecture, adding that there was no danger of a tsunami. Chugoku Electric Power, which runs the Shimane nuclear power station, said operations were continuing as usual at its number 2 unit. Japan's Nuclear Regulation Authority said there were no irregularities following the quake. At least 14 people have been killed after being swept away by flash floods in Indonesia's North Sulawesi as the search for the missing continued. An official said heavy rain early on Monday triggered flash floods on the island of Siau, located in the region of Siau Tagulandang Biaro. 16 rescuers have been deployed to search for 4 people who remain missing, while 18 people have been injured so far. The United States has ended its long-standing guidance that all children receive vaccines against flu and 3 other diseases, a sweeping change that advances one of Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s long-term goals. Public health experts warn the latest rollback could lead to preventable hospitalizations and deaths. The action removes the recommendation for rotavirus, influenza, meningococcal disease, and hepatitis A, and states that parents should consult healthcare providers under what it calls shared clinical decision-making. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.